Welcome back to Nightly Sports Call. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Let's get out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Ken in Clearfield. How you doing, Ken?
Yeah, Rich and Paul. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, the reason I'm calling, just to throw something out there at you guys, I've been going through the college football poll system, and I agree with you, Rich. I think I heard you the other night say about 8 teams.
Yeah.
I think it should be expanded to 8 teams. And I was thinking, I don't know what you said after that because I was cut off, but I was thinking, why don't you play 4 games on Christmas Day with the 8 teams, the semifinals on New Year's Day, and then you have the finals on January 8th. 3 great weeks of college football. What do you think about that?
You know what, Ken? I think it's a great idea. I'm for 8 weeks, and I'm for eight teams, and I don't know how you figure it out, Paul, but I think that, you know, there is at least a shot for 8 teams to win a national championship. I think beyond that, maybe not. But you would like to see Alabama and Ohio State and some of these teams get in to see what they could do.
Not me.
No,
I like 4
you
is
like
fine.
4?
4 is fine. I mean, if you want to tell me that you have to have 6 because you've got 5 conferences, so or whatever.
Why don't you do 8? You do 5 conferences and 3 wild cards.
Because again, I
6, you have to give someone a bye.
Right, give the top 2 teams a bye, right?
Yeah, I know, but
so to me. Here's my thing. I just like the fact that every game really matters a lot in college football. Every regular season game matters a lot to the teams that are trying to get there, you know?
Yeah.
And I like the fact that winning your conference means something. If you get to 8, you know, like when you start to go to wild cards, right? So you're going to let, like, Auburn, say they lose to Georgia this weekend, that they get back in. Or if Miami or, you know, say Clemson loses to Miami, they get back in after losing their championship game? Why do we need to see them again? They just lost.
I know, and that's why I always hate the fact if the later you lose, the less of a chance you have to get in. Say Miami lost the second week of the season to Pitt, they would be in the mix.
Well, if they win Saturday, they're in.
You think they're in?
Yeah, I mean that's the good part about this new system is it doesn't really necessarily matter when you lose. They look at your resume as a body of work now. So to me, my thing is, if you're going to do, okay, you have 5 major conferences. All 5 of those champions get in. And then your 6th team is the best, the highest ranked team of the other 5 conferences.
Or the highest ranked team out of those 5. You can't.
The other 5 conferences.
Yeah, I know,
so
but then
Central
you're in a situation
Florida.
with like Georgia and Alabama or Auburn and Alabama.
No.
I understand what you're saying.
Central Florida.
But
I'm saying the other 5 non-power
I know what you're
conferences.
saying, but I'm saying why would you put in a team from the other 5 conferences when you could put Alabama, who has a shot to win, where Central Florida does not have a shot to win?
Well, you never know that. Remember when Utah played Alabama and everyone said, they're going to get smoked, and Utah pounded them?
Yeah, Boise State against Oklahoma.
I mean, yeah, boys. I mean, those teams are better than you think. And you know what? The other part of it is, this year, I don't know that there's a real dominant team. I mean, people are making fun of Wisconsin. I could see this being a year if they somehow beat Ohio State, they could win 2 games.
Yeah.
Because of the way they play. But my thing is Central Florida, they got that offense, the way they play. It's crazy, but you know what? Make them the 6th seed, and so that way you at least have 6 champions in there.
Yeah, and it's not their fault who they play. Well, it kind of is.
Nobody will play them.
Yeah, no one wants to play them.
Of course,
Pitt will next
year. Scott Barnes or whoever it was signed up, so Pitt's not only playing them, going down there. So they better hope that Scott Frost gets the Nebraska job.
Yeah, another great move. All right, let's go out to Dave at Presby Hospital. How you doing, Dave?
Good. How you doing, guys, tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Reading the paper about the West Virginia Pitt game from 2007. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but I think the biggest storyline would have been if Pitt wouldn't have won, that the referees tried to rob Pitt so bad. I thought that if you watched that game close, there was calls in that game that were just unbelievable. It seemed to me that the referees were trying to keep West Virginia in the hunt, not to lose any games. I don't know if you
yeah, you know what? Thanks a lot for your call, Dave. In fact, not only did we watch it, but we sat next to each other for that game. And the whole game, I was working at another station at the time, and I had tickets. They had tickets bought for me to go to the national championship. So I wanted to go to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
That's where
I just kept saying, okay, this is the drive where Pat White takes them right down the field and they score.
You said it every time.
It
I
just
remember
never
looking next to
happened.
you.
It just never happened, and it got worse and worse and worse, and the pressure started to get to them. They choked. I always said if they win that game, they would have won the national title because they would have pounded Ohio State. If you remember that Troy Smith Ohio State team, they weren't very good to begin with, and then they played LSU.
LSU got in because West Virginia
right,
lost.
But that Ohio State team, Troy Smith looked fat and out of shape. You know what I mean? They looked like they spent the whole month of December doing nothing, and LSU pounded them.
And I remember thinking the same thing Dave brought up. I really think that the officials wanted West Virginia to win, or the Big East.
Right.
That was the issue. The Big East lost a chance at winning the national championship.
Tranghese was sitting right behind us there, and I kept looking up. It looked like someone was kicking his dog at the time. That was really, to be honest, the Big East final hope.
It was.
If West Virginia wins there, they win a national title, maybe you can make something out of your football league, get some credibility and everything else, but that was as close as they got.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way. Maybe you bring up a good point. If West Virginia wins that game, wins the national title, maybe we still have the Big East.
I don't know that, but I mean, it probably helps. Makes it survive a little bit longer, or gives it more credibility, or whatever. Maybe they get more money from a TV deal or so. But the whole point is, so much happened that night. So many things changed because of that night.
Yeah.
Starting with Rich Rodriguez ends up going to Michigan.
He doesn't leave West Virginia. That's another thing. He doesn't leave. He's probably still there.
Right. I mean, there's a bunch of dominoes that all fell into place that night.
Yeah, that probably will go down as West Virginia's worst loss in history.
Most disappointing, yes.
All right, let's back out to the phone lines before we take a break here. We're going to go out to John in, let's go out to Derek in Pittsburgh. How you doing, Derek?
How you doing?
Thanks for calling.
Hey, about the Penguins, before the free pitch, I don't think they're going to happen. They keep losing.
You know what? Thanks for your call, Derek. I don't know. I mean, it's a long season.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't put it past the Steelers. The Penguins winning 3 in a row. I mean,
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, and you can see that they're tired now. You look like they're maybe not entirely focused, but things change in February.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as long as the Penguins make the playoffs,
they've played a lot of hockey games over the last 2 years.
They're all young though, Paul. They're not like our age.
Yeah, but their stars aren't, and you know how it is. I mean, every team that they play will be gunning for them.
Just like now.
I mean, if you got a little bit fresher legs, and we'll see. But I think it's going to be difficult for them to do it.
All right, we got to take a break. Back with more phone calls and some tweets coming up next. Stay right there.